Good morning, everybody. You know what it is? Hump day. Mike. So, as we talk about all of these different things, whether we're talking about habits, creating new habits, talking about incantations, working on your identity, all of these different ideas, I think it's easy to get a feeling of overwhelm where it's like, man, how am I supposed to schedule all this stuff? How am I supposed to have time for all of this stuff? So the one thing I want you to remember is all of these things are always happening. You're always doing this. You are always either working on good habits or working on bad habits. You are always anchoring or being anchored by something else. This stuff is constantly happening. You're already doing incantations. What we're talking about is living the directed life versus the indirected life, designing your plan for your life as opposed to becoming part of somebody else's plan for their life. Every time you watch a commercial, you're being anchored. Every time you watch a movie, you're being anchored. Just moving around in your day, you're being anchored. So you can either just let it happen to you, or you can consciously direct your life by anchoring yourself in a way so that it serves you. You are always asking yourself questions in your head. You're constantly doing that. That's how we think. So you can either just let that happen and let social media and the news and all these other things direct what you're thinking about, or you can live the intentioned life where you decide what you're thinking about and you direct your thoughts and direct your actions. The reason we talk about doing all this stuff so early in the morning or first thing in the morning, it doesn't have to be at 4:30 in the morning, but first thing in the morning is because that's when your brain is the most empty. Your body and your brain has cleared itself of what it was working on from the day before. We're deletion creatures. We get rid of most of what comes in, and you've got a clean slate. And so before you pull up social media and start seeing what somebody else is doing, before you pull up Twitter and start seeing what the news says, before you start, going to the gram and seeing what everybody else's reels are, if you look at on this blank slate, start asking questions that direct your thoughts and direct your actions, now you're living the intentioned life. And you're gonna do it anyway. Because when you do it with social media, you're doing it. It's just that somebody else is doing it to you, and they're directing your thoughts and actions towards what they want you to pay attention to so that they can make money or do whatever it is that they're doing, so they can do their commerce. So you're doing all of this anyway. What we're talking about is live it directly. Take control of your own destiny. Take control of your own life. Take control of your own habits and thoughts, so that you live the life directed the way that you want. And it's simple to do. You're already spending this time to do this, so spending the time focusing on yourself as opposed to focusing on other people. And when you do that, and you look at your roles, and you look at your goals, and you look at your mission statement, and you ask yourself morning questions, and you work on anchoring yourself, and you work on doing incantations, when you take the first even 10, 15 minutes out of the day, and instead of giving it to everybody else, you give it to yourself and just do those few things, the changes in your life over a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years are really hard to measure. So I know that sometimes as we talk about all of these things, it can feel like a lot. It can feel overwhelming. Where am I going to have time to do all this stuff? The point of today's conversation is to simply point out to you, you're already doing all of this. It's all happening all the time. So rather than giving your time to somebody else, which is what you're doing when you're doing social media or watching television, that means we're giving somebody else our attention. Give it to yourself first. You deserve it. The people around you deserve it. Your spouse deserves you to do it. Your kids deserve you to do it. Give it to yourself first and live the directed life. As I said, design your own life. Don't become part of somebody else's design for theirs. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Be safe out there. It's a little icy if you're in Northwest Illinois. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.